about. So I'll love you till the world stops turning round. When our bodies fall apart, a broken puzzle of the past, we can put it back together. 'Cause honey, all the good things last.
And on this, the 24th day of May, and in the year of our Lord 2019, we present Cheryl's hand in marriage to Chris.
Me too.
Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, please, if you'd be comfortable to be seated. Hey, two hands together, because that's when you leave me, you're there. We are gathered here this afternoon and in the presence of these friends and I'm sure also loved ones. And tonight you, Cheryl and Chris, in marriage. Mom and dads, please, you can be seated. And your parents, your families, and your friends are here to be with you and to rejoice with you in the making of this most important commitment. And marriage is a commitment to life, because through your courtship, you have become each other's best friends, teachers and listeners, lovers and confidants, and I'm sure occasional critics. And Lily, you have the first reading for us today. If you would join us, please, Lily.
Okay, I have one too. Okay. So I'll be reading From Beginning to End by Robert Fulghum. You have known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment. At some point, you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes, indeed, you have been making promises and agreements in an informal way. All those conversations that were held riding in a car or over a meal or during long walks. All those sentences that began with "when we're married" and continued with "I love you" or "I will," "you will," and "we will." Those late night talks that included someday and somehow and maybe. And all those promises that are unspoken matters of the heart. All those common things and more are the real process of a wedding. The symbolic vows that you are about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know, all those things we've promised and hoped and dreamed. Why, I meant it all, every word. You look at one another and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you have been many things to one another. Acquaintance, friend, companion, lover, dancing partner, and even teacher. For you have learned much from one another in these past few years. Now, you shall say a few words and take you across a threshold of life, and things will never quite be the same between you. For after these vows, you shall say to the world, this is my husband and this is my wife.
Thank you, Lily, very well done. And Chris and Cheryl, from this day on, I'm going to ask of you to stay closer together than ever before. And yes, you should love one another in sickness and in health, and for better or for worse. But at the same time, that very precious love which you have found and nurtured together should give you that strength to stand apart, to seek out your unique destinies, and to make those special contributions to the world, which is always a part of us. Today, as you join yourselves in marriage, there is a vast and an unknown future that will stretch out before you, and the possibilities and potential of your wedded and family life are now great. And now falls upon your shoulders that task of choosing values and making real those dreams which you have strived for. And again, in this way, Cheryl, Chris, you'll not only create the meaning of your lives, but most importantly, your wedded life. And I'm going to ask Chris, if you have Cheryl's hands in yours, if you please repeat after me. I, Chris, taking Cheryl.
What was that?
I, Chris, taking Cheryl.
Don't be nervous.
It's only us. I, Chris, taking Cheryl.
I, Chris, take you, Cheryl,
To be my wife.
to be my wife,
To have and to hold.
to have and to hold,
From this day forward.
from this day forward,
For better or for worse.
for better or for worse,
For richer or for poor. For richer or for poor.
for richer or for poor,
In sickness and in health.
in sickness and in health,
To love and to cherish.
to love and to cherish,
Today, tomorrow, and forever.
today, tomorrow, and forever.
Raise your hands there, Chris's, please. I, Cheryl, take you, Chris.
I, Cheryl, thank you, Chris,
To be my husband.
to be my husband,
To have and to hold.
to have and to hold,
From this day forward.
from this day forward,
For better or for worse.
for better and for worse,
For richer or for poor.
for richer and for poorer,
In sickness and in health.
in sickness and in health,
To love and to cherish.
to love and to cherish,
Today, tomorrow, and forever.
today, tomorrow, and forever.
And I believe we have two very special tokens of love in the fashions of rings, please.
We're gonna lose it.
What did you just say?
Thank you.
And your ring should go to Cheryl. And Cheryl and Chris, I want you to pause for just a moment and to look at those rings and notice those inner bands in perfect circles. Those are circles without ending, as your love shall always be for each other. They're also made of a very precious material, as precious as this day is for you, it shall remain that way through eternity. And please, Chris, if you place those rings on Cheryl's left hand for me. And I want you to repeat after me. Cheryl, with this ring, I be wed.
Cheryl, with this ring, I be red.
And Cheryl, Chris's left hand would be wonderful. And Chris, with this ring, I be wed.
And Chris, with this ring, I be wed.
Cheryl and Chris, before us here, we have a unity set. You've chosen two very individual and distinct colors of sands, each representing your past lives. I'm going to ask of you now to step forward for me and to join those sands together, please.
The sand from the beach is not on the
Did you want beach sand in it? Yes, please. Okay, you can do that. Got good hands, I need some beach sand. Beach sand in there.
What?
Beach sand in there.
coordinators.
The fire.
That's all right. We're going to do it. Get the dry sand if you can. Still have a hole in there?
I have no idea what's supposed to be here.
A little more. Okay, that's good. Chris, go ahead. You're going to pour 4 or 5 pours to get a very distinct and interval pattern for each of you. Only can be made by you. That's okay. Chris? It's doing what I want to do. It's going to have a pattern. That's what I want. It's only your pattern.
There's a funnel. So there's supposed to be a funnel with it.
It's funny.
I said, yeah.
Yeah, Chris and I talked about it. Yeah, that's okay. We do what we got to do, right?
More?
Someone didn't forget.
Can we fill it up later?
In there, almost.
Okay.
I think we're good for there.
We're okay.
All right.
You guys want to seal it?
No, I'll probably start later.
Well, Cheryl and Chris, and I don't mean this figuratively or literally, but as that sandbox now tells us, the pattern of which you've been created shall neither be divided and nor separated, and neither shall the marriage vows of which you made here this day, or the families of which you're joining together as one. And I believe now that we have a veil. Please, if you join us, please. And Chris and Cheryl, the veil is very symbolic of the oneness of marriage.
Sorry. I got my lip.
Thank you very much. And now,
Get a little closer, you two. There you go.
Not enough.
okay, that's good. And now will we please have the cord?
There.
There you go. Good. And the cord, please. And Chris and Cheryl, this cord is God's knot, symbolizing your unbreakable bond of marriage. And now we have the coins.
Do I hand it to you?
No. Maybe if you can take them out and hand them to Chris. Chris, if you can take those coins, and I'll ask if you'll pour them from your hand to Cheryl's hand. And those coins are very symbolic of the stewardship of your earthly possessions together. And now that wealth has come, Chris, from you to Cheryl, and they'll shall always be there together. Oh, very good. You want to take the cord now? You want to move that now? Yeah. And now, if we could take the cord and the veil off, please. And Kayla, please, you have a reading. I believe it's 1 Corinthians chapter 13. If you'd like to join us here in front.
Okay, earrings too.
Yes, please.
Is my necklace straight?
Patient kind.
Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 through 12. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass. For we know in part, and what we prophesy in part, but when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child, I responded like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known.
Very nice, Carol. Thank you very much. Well, Chris and Cheryl, your two lives have now been joined in one unbroken circle. And wherever you may go, may you always return to one another in that togetherness. And I, in accordance with the state of Nevada, the state of California, and the authority vested in me with these states, it gives me the honor to pronounce you husband and wife. And Mama will be there in just a moment, Mrs. Huffman. But before I do, Cheryl, Chris, I'd like to leave you with a very special blessing. And I've chosen the passages from the native inhabitants of this land and lake. And we know for a fact that those words were first spoken at that highest peak there, which is Mount Talak. And these were in part their marriage ceremony. Now you'll feel no rain, for you'll find shelter within the other. And now you'll feel no cold, for you'll be warmth for the other. There'll be no loneliness for you are still two bodies, but there is only one life before you. So go now to your dwelling place and enter into those days of togetherness with your family. And may each of your days be good and long upon this earth. And may our Heavenly Father bless and keep your marriage in this gathering. Amen. Now, Chris and Cheryl, you surely may seal your vows with a kiss.
Is it on my lips?
No.
And ladies and gentlemen, the first time as husband and wife, Mr. and Mrs. Huffman.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. It's fine right here. Finally done.
Welcome to the family! Oh, it's sprinkling now. Congratulations!
At least I held off.
Thank you.
Yeah, officially a Leroya!
Congratulations! Oh, you're so warm. I love you. Drunk gas. I smell it.
You gotta stick together now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.